Good afternoon. Today I'm going to do an episode called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Kind of like the Clint Eastwood movie. It's a good movie, by the way. Anyway, but this has nothing to do with the movie. It's just something I borrowed from it. We have 3 distinctive whiskeys. We're going to start over again. Get all yawns out. Now, good afternoon. Today I'm going to do a video for you guys called The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm going to try to keep it short and not drag it out. It is like the Clint Eastwood movie. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly. Has really nothing to do with the movie. I guess I could whistle the tune. I'm not going to do more than that. Anyway, we're going to start with the bad first because I want to progressively get to the good. That being said, let's go ahead and unveil. The bad is the Bernheim wheat whiskey. I'll read you just a little bit of the cork, and I'll give you a little read off the bottle real quick. Ooh, a little bit of the cork come off there. Not much. This is the non-age state. This is a little older bottling. I've had it for 4 or 5 months. It's been open for that time, as you can tell. I have really not done much damage to it. The presentation's neat. The badge is neat. I like the way the marketing is done on it. It's really well. Little tag here. I'll read you just a little bit of the tag. I don't want to drag this out. And it talks just a little bit. It's the first truly new American whiskey style to be introduced since Prohibition, thanks to the genius of Parker and Craig, our master distillers. Whereas the whiskey contains primarily corn, barley, rye in their recipes, Bernheim is the only type of straight whiskey used as a soft winter wheat. The result is a full-bodied, sweet yet smooth whiskey that is produced in small batches and aged to perfection in traditional open rick warehouses. And basically that is it. It's a Bardstown product. Of course, Bernheim Distillery. It's not let's just get on with it. It's been open for a while. Like I said, it's been open for at least 4 months. It's 45% alcohol by volume. The newer ones are age dated. I think they have 6 or 7 years. Don't quote me on either one. It's one or the other, I'm pretty sure. I think it's 6, but I may be wrong as an age statement. Is it fairly thick? Viscous whiskey, good. Dark, burnt honey, amber color. It is a spirity whiskey too. I do notice the spirit in this more. The alcohol being the spirit, the alcohol content that you perceive. It's 45% ABV. I think I said that. Got some narrow, thin, heavy tears. Okay. It's got indescript berries. And I'm going to go quote on my notes on this a little bit, use them. It's very spirity in the nose. It's got an indescript berries. It's antiseptic. It has a certain antiseptic quality to the nose. There is a vanilla in the background on this. And you do get the grain. It's just a very light grain. Not really a maltiness. It's being from Kansas. During wheat harvest, there's a smell that you get, an intense smell that, and it's not intense, but it's a very strong odor that when you have your wheat come off the combine into the grain hopper, into the grain truck. As that grain truck fills up, of course, you get an odor, and you get that in this whiskey. I do. Now, I'll leave it at that. So it's a very good. It's very good. It's a very distinct wheat grain smell to it. Again, the berries, and it does have like berries. Like, think of the flavor. It's almost fake, the fake berry flavor like you get with the berry flavored medicines, cough syrups, and so forth. Blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, all kind of combined, give you that kind of berry compote flavor. But it's not. It is sweet. And it's not sickeningly sweet, but it is a sweet whiskey. And then the oakiness comes through in the rear. You do get some oakiness with this. The finish is a little sparky. Has slightly an earthy flavor too. It lingers. A little spice, a little marjoram. I will say that for spice wise. Maybe a faint chili pepper flavor to it. Not very dominant. And that's all in the finish there. It does linger a little bit. All right, I'm giving it a 72 out of 100. This is just not, I don't care for it. And as we can tell by, very rarely do I have a bottle that will last 4 or 5 months unless I don't care for it. It's just not, I just don't care for this. It is not something I care for. And it's very one-dimensional. And then we're going to go to the ugly next. I'm going to save the good for the last. And there's a reason I'm doing it in this reverse order. The good comes to us. I'll recognize the color of the paper I chose to use. And this is the ugly. And anybody seen Whiskey's color their bottles, they know what I'm talking about. It's a ugly blue. This isn't exactly the color, but it's really close. Best I could come up with. I took notes on it. This was supplied to me by Denmark, by Renee and Jacob of Saleg, as I won a contest, and it is. I'll read it off to you to make sure I get it all right, because I've only got a Port Charlotte. I don't have any Whiskey's. It's a Whiskey Classic Laddie. This is the first time I am opening this, by the way. Scottish barley, unpeated, Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. And it's 50% alcohol by volume, no color added, no age statement, and as they put it, it is the color of kapow. Oh, it smells good too. Oh my God. This smells good. All right, back to this. I have no notes on this. First time I've opened it. First time I've ever had it. So, on the Classic Laddie, it is 50%. Oh my gosh, it smells great. I know it says it's unpeated, but I swear I get just a faint hint of it. I get the smokiness. There's a smokiness to it. It's not a dominant one, but there's a gentle smokiness there. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, it's a medium amber. It's not very dark, not very light. It's got good, thick, viscous legs. Doesn't tear overly heavily, a little bit. I don't know. I can get a medium on the tears, I guess. It's pretty viscous. Now we're going from a wheat whiskey. I'm not sure if that's 100% wheat or not, but I believe, I don't know, we're going to leave. If somebody wants to know, research it. If I find out any differently, I'll put it in the notes. To a barley, then we're going to go to the good stuff. Oh my gosh, this smells good. This is all off the cuff. So much different. It's just like night and day between this and that. Clear the palate a little bit with the water. There's a maltiness to this. You definitely get the maltiness, a little slight smoke, a little brine in the nose. Come on, Scotch Trooper. Scotch Trooper glass. A slight spiciness there on your nose. Not like I get in the palate, but we'll discuss that in just a second. Baked apples. I'm going to go with. It's got a good, solid, but it's there. It's in the background. A faint smoke that follows it through. I swear I get a little peat in there. I mean, it's maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. Just it's not. It's just. We'll get to that in a second. Faint smokiness there with it, and that is it's there in it. We got a brininess. It's got a good brininess, and baked apples. It smells like baked apples. That's the best way to describe it. It's not the apples that's got it. It's not the cinnamon, sugary, sweet baked apples. It's more like it's maybe almost confectionery apples. It's I don't know. It's sugary and sweet. You can smell the sweetness with the apples, but it doesn't have the spice in it. That's the way to put it. It doesn't have a heavy spice with it. There's just some spice, but it's not script. It smells good. Baked apples, pear compote, something like that, sweet. Smoke in the background, saltiness, a little vanilla coming through. Finish is really good, creamy, very smooth. At 50%, there's no reason to add any water. Just adding a couple of drops because I ain't got much left in the glass. Actually, this has a longer finish than this, but that's earthy and unbalanced. This is very balanced, very. The indescript spices balance the sweetness. And the maltiness. The maltiness really comes through in this, and this bit of smoke helps. I mean, it's an Isla. I don't care if they said it's unpeated. I swear I get just a hint in that flavor when it first hits my tongue. I swear a hint. Maybe it's my mind playing tricks on me. It's not bold. It's not knock you down, Pete. It's not Ardbeg, Lefroy. It's nothing like that at all. It's just a twang. It's just a twinge. It's in there. It's just like, it's there. I taste it just a little bit. Now the smokiness is there. And a lot of unpeated scotches all have a smoky flavor. Some have a smoky flavor to them. The finish is really good. Tastes like baking a vanilla pear pie. And you added a little salt to it, but not unpleasantly. It's balanced. And you baked it in a Dutch oven over an open fire. Excellent stuff. We need to move on. Score-wise, because that's my first time of ever sitting with this, I'm hesitant to venture a score. Not going to do it. I will. Nope, they want the dryer. I will say, I don't know what even the cost per bottle is on this. $60 range, it'd be worth the purchase. We're $50 to $60 range. It'd definitely be worth the purchase to try, for sure. I could give it a letter grade, school letter grade right now, B plus A minus. Do it like that, because that's the best I'm going to give you on it. I'm not going to go any further. And now, the good. Oh, this is one amazing product. Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve, small batch, single barrel and small batch. Obviously, it's a small batch. If it's a single barrel, it's not batched at all, which is kind of a conundrum if you think about it. Reserve Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 120 proof. This is a barrel select for the fridge up in Manhattan, Kansas. Barrel is 4429. Now, this says aged 9 years on here. It's 120 proof, 60% ABV. But each barrel's different. This was handpicked by Fred No, according to the badge, for the fridge. On their advertisement, they list it as a 13-year-old. All small batches all have the same aged 9 months, aged 9 years, excuse me. And the aged 9 years is a general labeling. So when you pick the barrel, you know exactly how old the barrel is, and in this case, it was a 13-year-old barrel. This stuff, oh, we don't waste nothing there. This is a bourbon's bourbon. That, look at that dark color. Oh, that's a dark amber brown with a red twinge to it. It don't get no deeper than that. It's definitely got a red twinge to it. Thick, syrupy. Tears develop slow. Multiple tears are following the same path, just the ones that are running here. I've yet to have much in the way of tears forming, except for the tears developing on the edge of the swirl line. We stick our nose slowly into this. This is better served with a rocks glass. So we will be very careful, because first time I buried my nose in it, it made me tear up just a little. Vanilla. Vanilla in spades. Vanilla custard, vanilla pudding. Heavy, sweet vanilla just dumping on you. There's some cinnamon, cherry. Cherry's faint though. The cinnamon and the vanilla, a sweet confectionery note comes through. And spirity. I just took the smallest little drops that I could take. Oh. Vanilla, cinnamon, cherries, apples, I like this stuff. And it develops in the palate. And it stays with you. It lingers. This is a long, creamy, delicate finish. It sparks just initially when it first hits the tongue. And then after that, it just, the creaminess comes around in the background. Little white pepper. Maybe a little cardamom. Yes, a little cardamom there. We'll end it with that. The vanilla and the creaminess lingers. This will definitely do with some water at 60% ABV. Put 12 drops in it, because the volume and what's going on there, it's not going to hurt it. We're going to bring it down just a little bit. Let it set just for a second. What else did I get on my teaspoon? Oak, yes. Okay. Yeah, there is an oakiness at the end, but it's not an unpleasant bitter oakiness like you get with some whiskeys. Some whiskeys you get that oakiness and it's a bitter, and your sides of your tongue get that bitter, top of your tongue, back top of your tongue, develops that bitter flavor that's you know, some people like bitter, and I'm not adverse to it myself, but there's too much. I don't mind a little bit of bitter with stuff. I find that not unpleasant, but there is a point where it goes too much. This is not that. This is a bitter that's built. It's built to a point where you can taste it, and it's part of that oakiness, but it's not overwhelming your palate, and it's not destroying what's left in the back, because sometimes the bitterness just overrides everything. Once it overrides everything and it goes down the back of your throat, you lose that sense of sweetness, and all that leaves, and it becomes very unbalanced at that point. This is not like that. You get the oak. You can taste the oak. I'm not going to beat no bones about it, especially in the tail end of the finish. But it's not unpleasant. It's very balanced. Even at 60%, this is a drinkable alcohol. You don't want to chug it, but good sips. You can drink this at 60%. I do it all the time. Well, say I do it all the time. I've done it with others, but I treasure this stuff. I like this stuff. This has been open about 2 weeks. Okay, right off the bat, the water actually dials down the vanilla and brings the cinnamon up. The vanilla is dialing down, the cinnamon's coming up. It's maintaining the same profile, but the spicy level is increasing, the sweetness level is dropping a little bit. So before we've had a little more sweetness and a little less spiciness. They're just kind of shifting the balance back like this, but it's not unbalanced. This is an unbalanced situation. You know, the more you shift it one way or the other, it's unbalanced. I'm still getting both, so it's not unbalanced. And the oakiness starts to fade a little bit more. It's still there. Love this stuff. Love it. I need to wrap this up or it's going to be too long and you people are not going to want to watch it. I give this a 91 out of 100. This is a really, really good bourbon. I've got a Booker's I've never opened, and now I'm wanting to open the Booker's. And you know, the tip, here's a side, just quick. The beam character you normally get, it's there, but it's not. It's hardly there at all. It's in there, but it's so faint. It's not. It's not like in the white. That beam character in the white and the black. You just takes it and runs with it. Not in this. It's there, but it's really in the background, way far in the background. The flavors continue to build. It's still there. It's good. I need to sign off. I'm carrying on way too long. Thank you guys for bearing with me. And again, we have the good, the bad, and the ugliest colored. Good. It's a good Scotch, I think. I think it'll be a very good Scotch. I want to have to hunt me up a bottle of it because I want to give it a real score and be real fair to it. And again, thanks to Renee and Jacob, the Danish fellows at Salleg, for supplying me with that. I appreciate it, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank you very much. With that, I'll sign off, and remember, your spirit in your glass is not running from you. Sip and enjoy. Everybody, have a good afternoon.